rise and in the jungle we unite and dripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who gotta move rockin' on? Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes and you let the city know you rock 'em, yeah we got 'em, yeah we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em, bingo bottle, never stop it till the beast and know 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossin' on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen, we gon' show the world.
What's up, everybody? This is Ted Karras for the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cincy Hat, and you're watching Bengals and Brews.
Yes, sir, and I agree, Industry. This is the last Friday with Greg's hair. It's getting shaved Sunday before the game in Lot 1 at the Project Game Day tailgate. Swing by, check it out. I may even be there now. So, buddy Houday Joe, his cousin, has an extra ticket. So, I got to see about Derek riding halfway or whatever. If he's down to do that, then I'll probably be like, let's go get that ticket, and I'll be there, and I'll shave Greg's head for him. No,
I don't know if I trust you on that, Dale.
I wouldn't. I would not.
Yeah, I was gonna say, knowing you're probably gonna. You ever seen that episode of Hard Knocks? That they were giving out haircuts for the Dolphins, and that guy they shaved a dude's dick on his head and all that and stuff. I can see you doing that.
Oh man, you just gave me the idea.
Yeah, great. I'm bringing that up.
Man,
but yeah. So, any news out there? Any Bengal stuff before we get into over/under stuff like that?
No injuries. Injury report came out today. 0 injuries. Stuff you love to see, right? I know Mims was hurt, had an ankle issue, but he's all clear to go, I believe.
Yeah, no news. Don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I watched the game last night, and is this whole season a waste? The Packers are really fucking good.
Yeah.
I know it's early in the season, but good God, they are just smothering people. So with that being said, the Bengals go and play in Green Bay. That's going to be a good litmus test for us to see where we really stacked up, because we all have Super Bowl aspirations, but to beat the best, get the best, you got to beat the best. And that's going to be a great test. I mean, that's, weeks from now, but still that's going to be a good litmus test for us.
Pork Chop is at work. So he had to work last Friday and this Friday, and he should be back with us, I believe, on next Friday, but
he will.
Yeah. So that's awesome. Ryan interviewed a player on,
nice.
Awesome, buddy.
Love the FBS.
Yeah.
Love the FBS.
Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, there's nothing really off the top of my head. I'm just excited for the game Sunday. I watched about a half of that game, and then I went to sleep last night. I'm old. We've discussed this. But, yeah, the Packers did look good. I still, obviously, with the Reed injury, that hurts them. They had other guys step up. Jordan Love looks really good. I still think they need a wide receiver 1. I mean, maybe Matthew Golden can grow into that later in the season, but that's the one thing if I was them, with the way they've kind of pushed their chips in, getting Micah Parsons, I would like to see him maybe go and be aggressive on adding another receiver at some point, because I believe Christian is at Watkins.
Watson.
I think he's out. Watson is out for the whole season.
You're thinking Jalen Reed, who's out 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
No, I know, but Watson was already out. And I think he's out. So I'm saying, now that's 2 guys at the position. That they're down overall.
Hey, Dale, they had this tight end named Kraft who had 137
That was your guy, wasn't it, Greg?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was your guy.
I didn't want him in the draft, did I? Over TJ Turner, did I, Dale? Did I?
Yeah, we both like Tucker Kraft quite a bit. I didn't have an issue with the DJ Turner pick. I mean, and obviously it could pan out really well for us. He had a big pick last week, and he's got the speed, just the ball skills. He's sticky in coverage, It's a bullshit call. I don't think what should have been on him early in that game last week. But, yeah, I'm still a big fan of him. Maybe CTB will bounce back, because I believe he was at one of our sponsors today, wasn't he, Greg?
Yes, he was. He was at Midwest Best Barbecue, proud sponsor of this show. He probably got the CTB wings, which are awesome there. You can get CTB wings, T-wings, Uno wings, G-Funk wings, or Dale's Grippo. We got to rename the boneless Grippo the Dale Special. I'm serious about that. But, yeah, you can get pulled pork sandwiches, mac and cheese, green beans, baked beans, what was it, nachos. You can get all kinds of stuff there. Anything's good there at Midwest Best Barbecue. And you can go there wearing a Chop Shop T-shirt, such as something like this. And you know what that gets you? You're a really cold person when you go in there.
Yeah, 0% off. but you get to feel really good because you're wearing a Chop Shop T-shirt, which I wore one to work today, so I felt pretty good.
And I wore one too. And I wore one also too. And we're 1-0 so far with me wearing one today on Show Your Stripes Friday. So let's keep it going.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
you got to keep it going at that point. We'll jump into over-unders, then we'll talk more about the game in general, because especially try to hit the defense of some of our keys to the game. But let's go ahead and do the over-unders and hammer those out, since Derek was kind enough to put those up for us this week. And starting off with Joe Burrow, the over-under is at 279.5. So I think they're looking at this, making this like, yeah, he did not do well last week. They expect him to come out with a vengeance. He had 113 passing yards, well under. I think we all took the over. So, yeah, we screwed up on that one. But, yeah, 279.5. I'll kick it off, and I'll say he goes over. I still don't think it's going to be like a 400-yard game where he just goes absolutely insane. I think the Bengals do want to keep a better balance this season. So I think Chase Brown could, run the ball quite a bit. He had 21 carries last week. Maybe they get P. Ryan a couple. No one else carried the ball as a running back. Maybe they get Tosh Brooks some carries, maybe P. Ryan a couple carries. So I don't want to run Chase Brown into the ground here already in week 2. That's just something I don't like to do. But I'll say over, but like 285, like an efficient 285, 2 to 3 touchdowns and maybe one pick, because he's going to be trying to get the ball to his playmakers a little more than last week, and maybe they end up with a pick out of it. So I'm going to stay over on Joe Burrow. How about you, Dustin?
I'll go with the over as well. I don't want to give away too much of my keys to the game. I do think Jacksonville is going to play a lot of shell coverages, keep everything underneath. So I think it will be a game in which, high completion percentage. They're probably going to try to limit a lot of explosives unless we can get guys loose, cover 2 beaters. But yeah, I kind of think I'm kind of like over on that just by a little bit though.
Greg?
Yeah. I mean, look, Dale, I think you said this. And after that game, we're only like 4 yards of offense the second half. Joe, I guarantee, was pissed off. He had that look in his face. He was pissed off. He's like, we got to get this together. I guarantee you he's talking to them right now saying, let's get our asses on fire right now. Travis Hunter, who's going to be playing defensive back, I can't wait to see Chase or T light him up. I think I expect way over for the Bengals passing game this Sunday just because of the fire they have up them right now.
Yeah, and Paul's talking about, why are we burning timeouts, taking, maybe take get to the line and go. Like, get a playoff. Joe knows this offense. Yeah, Zach's got to be better about that. You don't want to waste timeouts. You could end up needing them. We could have ended up needing those in that game the way it was going. Missed field goal helped us out, but you definitely want to see that get better. It just shouldn't be happening with the continuity we've had on offense and the offensive staff.
Yeah.
But
the operation on Sunday, whatever you want to say about the offense, obviously there was the struggles there in the second half. I would say the operation behind everything was the more frustrating part for me.
Yeah. And we'll flip over to Trevor Lawrence's over-under for this game is set at 239.5. Flacco put up some good numbers and went over, so that makes me want to lean with the over. But if you look at Lawrence's stats, which I know they ran the ball a lot, they had a good lead. So, that could be different this game where you're not up big, you can't run the ball, and hopefully our run defense looks good. But he was 19 for 31, so he still threw the ball 31 times and only put up 178 yards with a touchdown and an interception. I don't know, man. BTB looked pretty rough, and I know we're hoping for a bounce-back game. I could also see Josh Newton coming in, Turner, Dax Hill looked good. But I'm going to say over also for Trevor Lawrence. Maybe it's only 250, 255. Maybe it's only one touchdown. Maybe he throws an interception or two. But I'm going to say he gets over on the yardage, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything on how I feel about the result of the game. Dustin?
Yeah, I'm going to say the over as well. I kind of feel the defenses are going to play similarly in this game, trying to eliminate the explosives, try to let the trenches do its thing. So, we'll probably give up a few passes here or there. So 239 kind of feels like a low number in today's NFL. So I kind of just going to go with the over. I'd probably go the over with that with a lot of quarterbacks, to be honest. So. Not against necessarily against us, but just like as in the game as general, against any team.
And to be fair, there was a lot of ugly quarterback performances week 1. I don't expect that completely continues this week, after going into the second week of the season. I'm sure that's part of why these numbers are maybe look a little lower for some of the people. Greg, your thoughts?
Well, here's the deal. So Travis Hunter, they said he's going to play a lot more defense, correct?
I think more defense, but I don't think that means any limitations on his offense. He played about 40 snaps on the offensive side of the ball, and he played like under 10 on defense. I think they want to get him honestly ramped up to like the same 40 on offense, but they want to get him to like 30 or so on defense. Like, I think that's what they're trying to do.
Well, yeah, it's because of the targets they're going up against. But, man, you got Brian Thomas Jr. They're tied. I looked at their tight ends. I thought they had Ingram, but I forgot he left. So, I don't know. Well, Etienne, he can receive too. So, I think they're going to concentrate on running the ball. I don't know. Yeah, I go back and forth on this deal. This is a tough one. Like you said, it could be 250. I'm going to go slightly under, but I know I could easily be wrong on this, so we'll see. It's close, but I'm going to go slightly under. I think it's going to go like a 220 or 230.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And we'll pop the next one up here. It is the running game. And unlike last week where we had like nothing for the opposing team, it was Chase Brown only. We've got a bunch of different rushing over-unders in this week's game. First one is Chase Brown, though. And it is 68.5 is the over-under. Greg's doing the dot bot off to the side. The over-under 68.5 for Chase Brown. He had 21 carries, but it was only like, 42 yards, like 2 yards per carry. It wasn't super efficient, but, man, it looked good early. And, honestly, he did the best he could with what was there for him. He was getting hit behind the line a lot. So I don't think he looked bad. And I still think he's just so explosive. He'll find a way to hit one. I'm going over again. Maybe I'll look like an idiot again this week, but I'm going over. I think he gets 80 yards rushing, like 80 yards, a touchdown, a good game for Chase Brown to help us win here, and we're going to need it.
Yeah, I mean, he started out like you said, when he started out, we thought he was going to get over 100 yards rushing, it seemed, and then we just kind of quit giving him the ball after.
Well, we gave him the ball. It just wasn't going anywhere. He had 21 carries.
Yeah. How good is the Jaguars' run game line? Is it pretty good?
They gave up over 4 yards a carry last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think this is reasonable. I could see him getting, like I say, I think the Bengals, though, want to come out passing the ball so badly. They'll still give it to Brown. I'm going to go 80 yards, so I'll go over. I think Brown could get 80 yards here, but I just think they want to concentrate more on the pass again. I'm not going to say he's going to get like over 100 yards, but I just could see him get 80, 85 yards.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same. I think there are opportunities there. Jacksonville's philosophy is they definitely want to. It's kind of similar to Cleveland, to be honest. They want to attack, and that obviously leaves open opportunities. If somebody's attacking in a gap, leaves open some lanes. So I'm going to say about 88 yards for Chase Brown.
Yeah, so we're thinking around a similar kind of range there with Chase Brown's over-under. Travis Etienne, man, he ran for 143 last week, 8.9 yards per carry on 16 carries. Had a hell of a game, but they had the luxury, I believe, of running the ball, but still only 16 carries. Very efficient, very good game for Etienne. I know that a lot of people try to run him out of town, get rid of him, and he's like, nah, you guys need me. I'm one of the best players on this team. And when he's healthy, he is one of the best players on that team and one of the better running backs in the league. So we got to respect that. He was drafted in the first round for a reason. 57.5 seems like a low number after the performance he had last week, but I'm guessing they're basing that on the fact the Bengals only allowed 49 yards rushing total to the Browns. So that was Jerome Ford. That was Dylan Sampson. That was everybody. Only 49 rushing yards given up. But 57.5 is a low number. I think they're going to try to run the ball. I don't think they're just going to let Trevor Lawrence sit back and throw all day. And even though I put his over, I still think that there's going to be a lot of carries. I think the run defense is much improved, but that's 1 week. I'm going to say he's over, but I don't think he goes off for 143. But I could see him getting 70, 80 yards in this game. Maybe he pops one for 40, and that's a big part of it, and they contain him the rest of the game. That would be an okay way to give up 80 here and still get out with a decent win.
Yeah, Our run defense did well last week. I don't necessarily think we're going to hold them under 57 yards, but if we can hold them under 100 yards, that's still a good game. I could see, even if it's 100, ETN, even if he gets under 5, I'll still consider that okay, but I don't think we're going to hold him under 57. I think that's pushing it a little, Dale, so I'm going to go over.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same. I think, again, this game on both sides of the defense are going to be kind of similar. There's probably going to be some lighter boxes to go up against. So, yeah, I don't think he goes crazy, but I definitely think he goes over that mark of 57.5.
It seems very, very low, especially after the week you had last week. It surprised me, but maybe
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was going to say his story is kind of interesting because going into the season, it was like, are we going to be moving off of him? And now it seems like he's the bell cow because they traded away.
Tank Bigsby.
Yeah, Tank. So,
and I think one reason they traded away Tank Bigsby is because of the next guy, Bashal Tootin. They also have LaQuint Allen. So 2 running backs they added that are rookies. Tootin was very, very good for Virginia Tech last year. Very explosive, track speed kind of guy. Can hit a home run at any time, so it's something to be wary of going into this game. But the over-under is set at 17.5 for Tootin. That seems low to me because, like I said, one big run, he could hit 20. So I'm not saying he goes off. If ETN has 80, maybe he has 25, 30. It just depends how much they do end up carrying the ball. And if we get out to an early lead, everything changes, right? Because they're going to put the ball, like let's say we can get up 14 points. Well, then they're trying to come back. They're throwing the ball more. The rushing numbers are down, but I still think Tootin can get over 17.5 no matter what type of game it is.
Yeah, like you put the nail on the head, Dale. 17.5, like that one run could literally be 18 or 19 yards right there. I'm not trying to knock the Bengals rush defense, but good Lord, man. I mean, I would never in my life bet anything against that right there. So, yeah, he'll go over. But, I mean, that could even if it's 18 yards, that's going over. So, yeah, that to me, that's a no-brainer.
And, I mean, so to be fair, last week he only had 3 carries, 11 yards. So it's not like, if they're basing it off of last week, he was actually under that, to be fair.
That's true. But this is the Bengals, so you never know what happens.
Yeah, I think I'm going to kind of hit the over on that too. If you go with Lee and Combe at Tampa, they threw the ball over the field, but they also like to establish the run game there with Irving. So I think he leans into that for this game. So I think both these guys go over.
Dang, man. Crip said you're going to look like a half-shaven ball sack during the dot bot next week, Greg.
Yeah. If Crip wants to, say that to my face in person, Crip.
Yeah. Say it to his face at the Project Game Day tailgate this week, Crip. You should go.
Crip. Would love to see you, buddy.
Trevor Lawrence, over-under 13.5 rushing. I'm just going to say under, and not that he can't move and scramble for some yards, but I'm just going to say under. I hate these quarterback rushing props. Derek knows that.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go over by a little bit. He can take off a little bit. He likes to use his legs, not a lot, maybe as early in his career, but I still feel like, he might squirt out for one. So I'm just going to go over slightly, like 15 yards or something.
We don't do – we give up a lot of rushing yards to quarterbacks, Dustin, so you're right. And this is like every time I seem like we have a quarterback sack, he gets out, starts rushing, so I can totally see this happening. Remember that when Urban Meyer was there, he tried to use him like how he tried to use like his Ohio State quarterbacks keep rolling out of the pocket.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy and all that. That didn't work out too well for him, but I could totally see this happening with Trevor Lawrence. I could easily see him getting 30 yards, so I'll go over.
Didn't Flacco get loose on a scramble last week?
On one, yeah. And he got like 5 yards. It was like wide open, and he still got 5 yards. I mean, that's Flacco, right? The most immobile quarterback probably in the NFL at 40 years old.
Yeah, he had 2 carries for 6 yards, along of 4. That 4-yard run felt like it was longer than that because he was moving like a snail.
Because it took him 48 hours to get those 4 yards, for sure. All right, so Joe Burrow, the over-under is 5.5, very low number, and he did not scramble very much, but he even talked about it, and I know, Dustin, you talked about it, that you thought he should utilize his legs more. I'm going to say over for the reason that you said and the reason he talked about it. Maybe just get loose a couple times, pick up some first downs, get down, get out of bounds, whatever you got to do. Maybe that'll open things up more for everybody else too. Keep the chains moving on some times that you use your legs, as Jay Gruden talked about on the show on Wednesday. That's a big thing for an offensive coordinator. Like, oh man, I didn't have a good play called. My quarterback still got me a first down. Okay, let's keep this thing rolling. So I'll say over for Joe Burrow.
Yeah, what the hell? I don't know, man. I don't want to see him run too much. I don't want to see Joe get hurt or anything. But yeah, you know what? What the hell? I'll go over. I'm a very overgenerally person today, Dale.
I'm doing over, and I think this is a conversation we could have at some point regarding the usage of legs and how I really think it's a requirement in today's football. So I definitely want to see him use his legs more. You know, how many first downs do we see Herbert in that game against Kansas City? He literally won the game, or Mahomes sneak out when plays break down. I want to see a little bit more from Joe, and I know he's talked about it to his press conference prior to the year and this week as well. Now, obviously, want him to be protected, not take hits, get down. Don't be trying to beat Jordan Love like last night when he tried to run Amos over.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
Yeah. So I'm going to say over on this.
All right, we'll move on to receiving over-unders. And this is always so much smaller, and I've got to go to the full screen here just to see it on this computer. But the over-under for Jamar Chase is 86.5. He was held in check last week. Can they hold him in check 2 weeks in a row? I don't know. I don't think they have the same corners that the Browns have. So I'm going to say over, but it would not surprise me one bit if he just has like 60 yards. We have a lot of people to get the ball to. Maybe we and the way we were using the tight ends early, I like maybe this is a tight end game. That wouldn't surprise me, and that would be why he could go under. But I'm going to stick with the over just because that's Jamar freaking Chase, man.
Dale, there's only one number one, and that's Jamar. I mean, I guarantee you, you know what he's doing right now? This is what he's doing. He's just staring at that wall. He's staring. I got shut down. He's got a vengeance going on right now. He says, I'm getting 100 yards at least receiving. He's ready. He's ready to tear everything up. I'm going over with Jamar.
Yeah, I'm going to go over as well, but I think it's going to be one of those games that are like 10 catches, 90 yards, you know, like getting him the ball early, trying to, him to try to use some of his run after catch ability. So I'm going to hit the over, but I think it's going to take a lot of catches to get there because I just think Jacksonville's primary goal is to prevent explosives in this game. Yeah,
that's a good point. And honestly, I think Jay Gruden spoke on that on Wednesday too. Like he would have liked to see them do some screens, get the ball in Chase's hands, because it just seems so stagnant and so tough to move the ball. Big reason we had -2 yards in that second half. So I could see that. Brian Thomas Jr. was also held in check last week, and that's a really, really good football player for Jacksonville at wide receiver. He only had one catch, 9 yards. But on that one catch was also one touchdown. So if you had him in fantasy, he kind of saved your day by getting in the end zone with the one catch. But, man, they got the over-under at 67.5. I mean, is CTB guarding him? Is the CTB from last week guarding him? Is Dax Hill on him a little more this week? Because Dax moved all around. He wasn't just in the slot. Is DJ Turner on him more? Can DJ Turner, use his length against him a little bit? Can CTB step it up and have a much better game? I don't know. Those are all questions right now. So with that said, I'll go with the over, and I could see him having 90 yards. They're really trying to get him involved after not being involved too much last week. And, maybe the Bengals do have a lead, and they're trying to get back in the game. And that's how he gets, 9 catches, 90 yards or something like that. That wouldn't surprise me at all for Brian Thomas Jr. this week because he's a dang good wide receiver.
Go ahead, Dustin.
I'll say the over as well. I think they'll obviously try to get him involved a little bit more from last week. I don't see too many of these high-end receivers having games back-to-back like that. So I'll say the over for this.
Yeah, no, like I said, like Jamar, he's going to be pissed off himself. And if CTV is guarding him, I don't know. I mean, like I say, it's just our corner still, I know Dax played well. I know Turner played pretty well, but still, I got a bit of a question mark with the corners. And Brian Thomas, I mean, Chop will tell you himself, one of the best, but besides Neighbors, he's probably the second best rookie wide receiver last year. So, yeah, I think he's going to go over 67. I think he's going to be pissed off and wants to make up for what happened last week, like Chase did.
Yeah, I could see that. And Greg, if there's any comments to post them up because I'm not on that screen right now with this one. T. Higgins over under 66.5. I will say under. I could see him having an efficient game again this week. Kind of like I thought last week. He's a chain mover. He's clutch on these third downs. But I know we paid him. We expect him to have big games, and he might, right? I'm not saying he won't. But I could see 5 catches, 50 yards, like I kind of thought last week, and he was a little under that, but it was one of those type of games, right, where it wouldn't have been much over that, even if he caught that one where he was kind of pushed out of bounds, almost got the second foot in. But I'll say under on T. Higgins because we got tight ends coming up, and I do think it could be more of a tight end game. So somebody's got to go a little under, and I'm going to go Higgins for my under here on the Bengals.
Yeah. I don't want to do this to you, T. But, yeah, you know what? Screw it. I said over for everybody last week and won, so screw it. I'm going to go over for T. Fuck it.
I'm going to go under as well. However, if there was like an over-under for touchdowns, I would let's say it's a touchdown. I think he'll get 2. I think the key for the utilization of T in this game, I think red zone offense is going to be really important because they're going to give up the middle. So yeah, under on yardage, but effective in the red zone. It's going to be a T red zone game.
I like it. Travis Hunter over under 48.5. He had 6 catches last week. It only went for 33 yards, but he can make big plays. He's got really good ball skills, good ball tracking ability. I could see him getting loose for a deep one in this game, but I'm still taking the under with all that said, because I could see Dax Hill matched up with him. And I don't know. I really believe in Dax Hill. He played all but like 2 snaps last week, looked healthy, looked good, great in run support, and not noticeable in coverage, which to me is a win. That means you were doing your job. You didn't stand out in a bad way. So I'm going to say under on Travis Hunter. And with him playing a little more defense, maybe that's part of it. I still think he'll get a lot of snaps on offense. But, yeah, I'm going to say under. Maybe he gets 40 yards. Maybe it's not too much under, but I'm going with the under.
Yeah, it just depends what's going to happen with Travis. You just don't know and all that. It's like a coin flip right there. I'm just going to go under because I wonder if he plays defense. I don't know. I'm going to say under for Travis Hunter. I just got a feeling.
Yeah, I'll say under as well. I mean, I think he's still developing. They're probably trying to figure out ways to just continue to use him. Do you know, did they line him up on the outside Jacksonville last week, or did they have him?
I honestly could not tell you, to be honest.
Yeah. I would say if they lined up in the slot, I would probably take the under. On the outside, I'm probably going to take the under. If he was in the slot, I'd probably take the over. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with Travis. But definitely something. It's going to be intriguing to watch. Like what is he? How much does he play on defense? How do you utilize him? I'm kind of excited to see how that all goes down.
Yeah, and up next is Brenton Strange, the tight end for the Jaguars. He had 4 catches, 59 yards. So obviously some chemistry there with Trevor Lawrence. I believe he was their leading receiver last week. I mean, Trevor only had 178 yards. He had 59 of them. The next guy on the list, De'Ami Brown, had 52. So the over-under is set at 31.5 this week. He had 59 last week. I'm going to say he can get 40, 50 again this week against this. Not that Njoku went off against this, but you know who did? Harold Fannin. He had an excellent game for the Browns. So we have struggled guarding tight ends. Maybe that's still the case. I highly doubt he moves around the way that Harold Fannin does, because there's just not many H-back / tight end types in the league, even though he's only rookie, that can do the things that Harold Fannin can do. But I still think he could get the over here. It'll be interesting to see how we do against a more natural tight end in this game.
Go ahead, Dustin.
I was going to go under on this. I'm not the biggest Brenton Strange guy in the world. So under, he doesn't really scare me.
So you think that was just kind of a one-off game?
Yeah.
That's fair.
I don't know much about the guy either, so I guess I'll just go in with you guys under as well on that one.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. And he's probably watching the show right now saying, fuck you guys.
I'm sure he is. De'Ami Brown, he was with Washington Last year, he is now with Jacksonville, and a good debut with 3 catches, 52 yards, and an underwhelming day overall passing-wise for the Jaguars. His over-under set at 30.5. I went over on Brian Thomas. I went under on Travis Hunter. I went over on Brenton Strange. So just by that, I'm going to go under on De'Ami Brown. But it's not a huge number. So if he had 35 or 40, wouldn't be shocking. But these are guys you got to hold in check, right? You can't let it be a Noah Brown. Isn't that his name that went to Ohio State? Noah Brown that ate us up when he was on the Texans or whatever. You guys know who I'm talking about. Now he's on Washington.
Right.
Yeah, don't let De'Ami Brown have a Noah Brown game and go off for like 100 and some yards and just eat you up in the secondary. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that happens, so I'm going to go with the under.
I'm going with the over. I actually like De'Ami Brown. I think he's a sneaky good player. Like, he made a lot of plays for the Commies last year. So he's kind of a guy that I'm like, don't let him get loose, like you were just saying. So, yeah, I'm going to go over for him.
Yeah, I'm just going to be safe, Dale. Just go over, try to re-jinx this and all that and stuff. Reverse psychology here. I think he's going to have 500 yards receiving. Now that
he's going to
500? Hell yeah.
Yes, Dale. He's going to have 500 yards or 500 receiving. I'm just as sure of this as I'm sure the Reds are not making the playoffs.
You guys want a not-so-fun fact courtesy of Bengals and Bourbon?
Yeah.
Zach has never won a Week 2 game.
Wow.
That's inspiring. Hey, time to I know we've never went 2-0, so time to break all those things. You know, we had never won a playoff game in 30-some years. We hadn't been in a Super Bowl in how many years? So, F it. We're going to break that too. But and one reason we might is this guy named Noah Fant. Good addition, good touchdown last week. Good solid game, honestly, in his debut. Over-unders at 21.5. Maybe they get Gesicki more involved this week. But I think Fant's going to be on the field a lot, because they like his ability to one, block, but also disguise blocking or get off the block and go out as a receiver afterwards. So I'm going to say over for Fant. I went under on Higgins, so I can go over for guys like Noah Fant. And I'm going to say he has another 40 yards or so this week.
Hey, before we get to that pork chop here in the messages, I thought it said pooping, but it says popping to say hi to the Brew Crew and back out from work. See everybody Sunday. Hoo day. We love you, Chop.
Love you, Chopster.
Love you, Chop.
No fan. Well, Dale, do I know?
Oh, yeah. Greg sending me stuff from him playing Madden last night where Noah Fant goes off for like 200 yards.
It works, though, Dale. I have the perfect play. Everybody's playing deep. I throw a perfect slant to Fant. Dale, I run it perfectly with him. He got me. I mean, Dale, the Bengals need to hire me to use Fant. They need to hire me. Fant is going to go on 21 yards. That's a fucking insult. He's going to get over 100 yards. No doubt in my mind. Fuck this betting thing. Noah Fant is going off.
Well, you should put some money on it, right? Put all the money on it.
I got my fake. That's all the betting I need.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah, we're excited for Noah Fant this year. So we got to see a little preview of him and what he can do. So I am going to go the over. I think he gets like 40 to 50 receiving yards in this game.
I like it, yeah.
But I'll take it from you. I'll take it.
40 or 50. I said around 40 or 52.
I went over 100, guys. We got to think big. You got to think big here, man. But okay, I'll take it.
No, Dustin's not in any group chat, Jeff. Calm down. Don't feel left out. Chase Brown, 20.5 over under receive. I'm going to say under. P. Ryan, they utilized him a little more in that role. All it takes is one, though, for him to go over. That he busts one on a screen, and maybe they do try to get him involved in the passing game more. They really didn't last week. But I'm going to say under just based on last week. He had 8 yards, like 2 catches.
Go ahead, Dustin.
Oh God, these are always tough. I projected Chase Brown to have like over 120 all-purpose yards last week, and that fell. I mean, I think he looked good. It wasn't like our whole offense fell apart last week. Second half of last week. It was 20.
It's a tough one.
Yeah. Let's just go over. We did. Did we even run? We ran on like one screen last week. So let's get the screen game going a little bit. Neutralize that pass rush. They like to attack the gaps. So let's get him loose. So I'm going to go over.
I'm going to go under. I think they're going to concentrate more on running the ball. That's just me, though. I hope they prove me wrong. I hope Chase Brown just kicks me flat out in the nuts over this because he's watching right now. So let's go with that.
And Mike Gesicki, over under 19.5. I went over on Fant, thought he could get 40. I think Gesicki, man, down that seam, it takes one ball for him to go over 19.5 on some plays. So I'm going to say he gets 25, 30 easily. Maybe this is a Mike Gesicki game where he gets 60. I can see a world where Mike Gesicki goes off for 60 in this game and balls out. So I'm definitely hitting the over. It's just a matter of how much over he goes.
I'll do the over too. Were you guys kind of tuned into like the discussion this week of like usage last weekend's game, like the snap counts between Noah and Gesicki?
I mean, I knew that Fant had like 50% and Gesicki had what, like 30% or something, if that.
Yeah.
People had 69%.
Yeah, it's that's something I'm kind of be curious to see how they just utilize both these guys, this year. But for this specific game, I'm definitely going over. I think he gets like 4 catches, 44 yards, some shit like that.
All the 4s and 4 touchdowns. 4 catches, 44 yards. All of them go to the end zone.
Yeah, love it.
Why not? And this guy named on. Oh, what?
Well, Who Dey Joe's watching. I got to be on his good side here. Overnight, yeah, he's going to go over 19 yards. Screw it. Not as many as my guy Fant, though, Joe, but he'll get over 19 yards. He'll give me 34, but we got to get more to Fant, though. That's the deal right there, though.
I think it's going to be 60. I might be setting close to Joe, and if Gesicki has 4 touchdowns or 60 yards or whatever he has, I'm probably going to have cum on my back leaving that game because of Who Dey Joe behind me.
You know what, Dale? You want me to come to your house tonight and fight you for it? I will fight you over this.
You want to have Joe's cum on your back? I'm so confused what we're fighting over.
I don't know. I was just trying to start something. Forget what I just said.
I'm very confused. Andre Yosvash, 18.5 over under. Nothing in the stat line last week. Nothing. He had all that chemistry with Burrow. We really thought I might be. It's still it's a questionable. I'm questionable right now. Probable, I would even say. Probable to be at the game. But Yosvash, 18.5 is the over under. Man, this is a tough one for me because he didn't do anything last week. I went over on both tight ends. I think I went over on Chase. But I went over on Burrow, so screw it. I'm going over on Yoshi. I want to say he moves the chains at least twice in this game on some big third downs. And he gets 30 yards, 35 yards. Nothing spectacular, but just what we need. Maybe one of those even go in the end zone. So let's go, Yoshi. I'll go over.
I like the way you think, Dale. I like the way you think. Miley's probably watching, so she's making you take Yoshi. Miley's smart. You know what, man? I'm going to go Yoshi with Fant. They're both going to get over 100 yards receiving, Dale. Let's do this. They're both
over 100 each?
Yes!
Oh, my God.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah, Dale. Dale, I'm off the chains today, man. I'm oranging out my ass right now, buddy.
What does that mean?
I don't even fucking know, but I don't care.
We might need to get you to a doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're oranging out the ass, you may need to see a doctor.
Hey, you want to see it right now? I'm just kidding.
Or you ate like what's that, like orange crema Mexican food, and you're just shitting that out?
No, I'm like Kel from the show Keenan and Kel drinking orange soda all the time, pretty much, but close.
Yeah, crazy that we couldn't get the ball to Yoshi last week and not even get a target. I thought the nickel corner matchup was going to be one to take advantage of. So I would like to see him get involved. So I'll go with the over on this. I think for him, like 3 catches, 28 yards, something like that. Like you said, couple first down, keep the chains moving. Let's go.
And then the last one here on the receiving is Travis Etienne, 15.5. I'm strictly taking the over because I saw what Dylan Sampson did, and a lot of that is just maybe some good coverage elsewhere, and you just get it out to the back, and maybe that's what happens again this week. So I definitely think Etienne is capable of having more receiving yards. He only had 13 last week, but he was running the ball. The whole team was running the ball. They had 200 yards rushing. But I'm going to say over on the 15.5. I don't think he goes off like Samson did, but maybe he gets 25, 30 yards, on 4 catches or something like that.
Yeah, no, he's going to go way over, man. We do terrible against receiving running backs. I have no doubt in my mind he's going to go way over.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of his strengths coming out from Clemson, the ability to be a receiver out of the backfield. So I think most games he would go over that number.
All right, I've got to get back to the other screen here, so bear with me for 1 second. And sorry, Greg. Sorry, bud. Hate to piss off Master Greg over here. Anyways, the spread is 3.5 points. The over-under is at 49 total. I don't really care about a lot of this. This is more, what is your prediction for the game? And Greg, I'll let you start because you were saying weird shit, so go ahead.
Let's go 69-all once again, like how I predicted last week, how right I was.
69-all. The game ends in a tie.
Yeah. Really? Actually, yeah, I made another realistic one here. All right. Remember you told me to be realistic. It's another day we're on, so I'll be for real. And I was close because I said 24-23 at the end. It was 17-16. And so I was somewhat close. Okay. 31-28 Bengals.
So Jacksonville covers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jacksonville cover.
I'm going 28-24 Bengals. Good teams win, great teams cover. So damn it, the Bengals are great. We're going to cover. So obviously with that, we the total, the over for that as well.
Yeah, and I'm going to say 27-23, Bengals win. So the Bengals barely beat that spread, winning by 4, and the over is barely hit by it being 50 total points with 49. So people are going to be sweating, but it's 27-23, and maybe it's 24-23 late in the game. McPherson makes it 27-23, but then we still got to – I just figure we're going to be worried about it down to the wire. So we got to get a defensive stop to win the game again this week is how it's going to play out.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it will be one of those games where, we move the ball, but, it has to be methodical up and down the field. We got to convert first downs. We got to be really strong. When we get into the red zone, we have to convert. We got to get touchdowns, not field goals. I think this is going to be a game. Whoever can, kind of own the red zone areas are going to be the ones that, kind of have the advantage in the game. Because I think, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, I add to what you were saying with their kicker was 4 for 4 along at 47, Cam Little last week. So they got a lot of points on field goals. Mm-hmm. I think if they're having to settle for field goals against us, we win the game.
Yeah.
Hey Dale, can we do another thing? Let's do key matchups.
Yeah, let's do it. And do you want to start or you want Dustin to start?
I'll start. If I did, so I want to say Chase versus Travis Hunter, but that's too easy to say right there.
Key matchup or keys to the game. Honestly, take this wherever we want. We got another 15 minutes, 20 minutes of the show left.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. I want to see the same running game as we did last week. If we could stop, the D line against Travis Etienne. If we can hold Travis Etienne and if you can make Lawrence play quarterback, I'll take that because like what Jay Gruden said a couple days ago, Lawrence is too inconsistent at times. Make him play quarterback. Okay? That's what I want to do. Make him play quarterback.
Like it. I think we have the advantage when it obviously comes to our receivers against their secondary. I think it's going to be another game that our offense line doesn't necessarily need to dominate. I think they need to hold up to give, times for our receivers to find the spots in the zone. Anthony Campanelli, their new defensive coordinator, he runs a lot of kind of Vic Fangio, keep everything in front of you, too high. So we got some abilities to attack the middle of the field. It's a defense in which they're going to try to create pressure with their front four. And, they got a pretty solid defensive line. I mean, they got some dudes over there. So I think the key matchup to this game is our offensive line against their defense line. And on the flip side of things, eliminate explosives. Obviously they have some explosive players with Thomas Jr., with the potential of, Travis Hunter, obviously, for him to just take off. Eliminate explosiveness, win the third down battle, bend but don't break, if they get into the red zone, try to hold them to 3. And, I think that's kind of the keys of the game for me on a high level.
Well, key to the game / matchup of the game, whatever you want to call it, I think is our run defense versus their run game is the first one, right off the rip. They had 200 rushing yards last week, ETN for almost 9 yards per carry, and we gave up 49 yards, 2 yards per carry. So it's like a movable object meets whatever, that saying is. Unstoppable force. So one of those things that I think whoever wins that battle has a good chance to win this game. If we can play that type of run defense again and hold them in check, keep them under 100 yards rushing, let alone 200, I think we got a good chance to win this game and squeak it out. And, get turnovers when Trevor's going to throw some balls out there for us to get our hands on them. We made 2 plays where we were in the right spot at the right time, and they were tipped, but you got to make that play. Plays we didn't make last year, they made them last week. So hopefully we see that again. And then I think on the flip side, their secondary, as you guys were talking about, against our receivers. Do we see Jamar Chase in the slot a little more, trying to take advantage of that over the middle? Do you get the tight ends more involved, get creative? Do you throw some screens out there to negate their pass rush a little bit and not let them just tee off on Joe Burrow?
Yeah.
Those are the things I want to see. And if we have that game plan, I can't imagine if us dumbasses are thinking that game plan, that the coaches aren't thinking a similar game plan, focus on those things to win the game. And, maybe we're just being cautious from last week, but there's a chance if you stop the run well, Trevor throws a couple picks because it's very possible, and we're creative with how we get the ball to our playmakers, because you got to get the ball to them. Even if it's short stuff, let them break tackles. Let them make big plays.
Yeah.
Let Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins break a tackle. Throw a little more. We didn't throw a lot deep. Take a couple more shots in the game. And maybe we just come out and roll ass in this game. It would not surprise me.
No, what's kind of came to my mind. Remember Trevor Lawrence? I'm sure you guys remember him when he was like a freshman at Clemson. We're thinking, man, that could be the Bengals' new quarterback of the future right there. Then Joe comes along the last second. Trevor Lawrence, man, what do you think has been his issue just being in the league? Because 1 year, I think 2 years ago, we thought he was taking a big step forward, but then last year he took a step backwards. What is his problem, man? Trevor Lawrence, there is no reason he should not be up there with Joe Burrow right now or Josh Allen.
It's just consistency, as Coach Gruden said. You've got to be more consistent game to game, but play to play. You can't look like all world one series and the next series you're just happy feet and throwing off your back foot and all this shit. Like, you can't have it because it leads to turnovers, it leads to big plays, and then it seems like when bad happens, it usually gets bad. I know you can always point back to, as Coach did, the 4 interceptions, he bounced back in the second half with 4 touchdowns. But a lot of times when he's playing bad, it just goes downhill quick and stays downhill, and it doesn't bounce back. That's kind of the one-off to that. So he can be a little bit Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And I think, you get on his ass early, you get a lead, make them one-dimensional. There's a chance to really jump out and have just a fun day in the jungle on Sunday in the Orange Out.
Yeah, I actually think we're catching them at a good time, too. I mean, Leon Cohen, he was able to take Baker from – did we even, think he was going to survive in the league after he was bouncing around? And turn him around. So I think it's still early on in the relationship between Trevor, and they're probably getting to know each other. So I like that we're catching them early in the season, because I can kind of see them progressing and being a better offense as the season goes on.
Well, I want to mention some of their defensive guys here, too. So I cannot say this name. I do not know how to pronounce it. Thosadi Olakun or whatever. He's a linebacker for them. 6 tackles and an interception last week. He's one of the better linebackers in the NFL that no one talks about. He's a really good football player. He's been a really good football player for a while. He can play the will linebacker spot. He can play in the middle. So he's going to be giving Joe some different looks. He can do a lot of things. He's a good run defender. He's good in coverage. So he's a guy on their side of the ball that I'm really watching out for. They did bring in Eric Armstead. You know, I know he's getting a little older, but still a big old boy in the middle of your defense. And they have Devon Hamilton at nose tackle. And then Trayvon Walker and Josh Hines Allen.
Yeah.
You got to keep those guys in check. Our offensive line versus their D line is going to be a huge matchup in the run game, in the pass game, and everything for the Bengals. So what are you guys' thoughts on maybe their defense? And I know they've got like Tyson Campbell. Jordan Lewis had 3 tackles and a pick last week. But, I mean, Jerry and Jones, solid player. And then you got Hunter playing a little more. Wingard, Eric Murray is their safeties. Are those guys good? Like, can you take advantage of their safeties a little bit? Like, those are thoughts to me. What are your thoughts on it, Dustin?
Yeah, and, that was one of my keys to the game is definitely the offensive line against their defensive line. Now, they got some names there. I mean, Eric Armstead, wherever you think he is with his career, he always is giving the Bengals a little bit of a trouble. Trayvon Walker, like, he's starting to come on, What's he, 4th year now?
Yeah, and he's had back-to-back years with at least 10 sacks.
Yeah.
It's not been much over 10, but.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's starting to become form-in shape. So I think that's definitely the matchup of the game. I think, they got, like you were mentioning, they have an athletic linebacker core. Got Devin Lloyd as well. But I do think from a secondary perspective, to me, those are just guys out there. I know Jordan Lewis was a guy that they signed in the offseason. They gave him a little bit of money. But I kind of feel like we got the clear advantage. So I just think being able to attack them, I think they're going to probably play a lot of zone and keep everything underneath. But, as long as we give Joe time and protect him, I think he's going to do his thing and pick those guys apart.
There is one guy for the Jaguars. Maybe if I had to take a slightly root for it, Dale, you mentioned a couple days ago, LaQuint Allen, because you remember I was high on LaQuint Allen coming out of Syracuse and all that and stuff. He's probably not going to do much, though, right?
But, I mean, third downs, he had 1 carry, 7 yards, but they also had Tank Bigsby last week, who they traded away. So, he's going to get some of the stuff that Bigsby got, or Tootin, which is another reason I went over on Tootin. He's going to get more of, because Bigsby got a few carries here and there, too, last week. So, to me, I think those rookies are definitely something to watch, and especially like we gave ETN the overs on the receiving, but it's probably, that's a good point, Greg. It's probably Allen and Tootin that we need to watch out for just as much, if not more, in the receiving game.
Bengals are watching this. Watch out for LaQuint Allen because they know I was high on, just like how I was high on Tyrone Tracy. He's no Saquon Barkley replacement, don't get me wrong, but he's doing pretty damn well right now. So I know this stuff, Bengals. They're listening to me right now, okay?
Well, and Allen, he is a guy that was one of the best pass catchers coming out of the draft at the running back position last year. So if they see what Dylan Sampson did and they're like, hey, we think we can hit this guy on third downs and this and that, then they're going to try to do that. It's just a fact and move the chains. So definitely a player, like under the radar player that we haven't talked about for them is a great call on LaQuint Allen out of Syracuse, Greg. I think he's definitely one. They're all 3 of their running backs, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the interior of their line is solid. Walker Little. I know there's like Anton Harrison. We talked about him like leading up to the draft too. So I think there might be a advantage there with Trey to be able to come off the edge.
Yeah, they got Patrick McCarry at right guard, a guy that we thought maybe we would go after.
Yeah, got him.
Oh, yeah, that's
Urza
right.
Cleveland. Don't know much about their center, but I think their guards are pretty solid. Their tackles, I think there's definitely ability for us to win those matchups on the edge.
Yeah, with Trey and Stewart, and maybe we see more. And Miles Murphy's supposed to get more snaps, and maybe more snaps is all he needs to. And he wasn't bad. Like he got 25% of the snap share last week, but he made a couple plays. He got some pressure on a play. He had a good run stop, and it's like when you get your opportunities, you have to make plays if you're playing limited. And there's a reason that as fans, it's like, well, it's all this hype to Shamar Stewart, which rightfully deserved. He got a lot of pressure. It didn't show up in the stat sheet, but he got a lot of pressure. You ever think Miles Murphy's doing some of those things too and doing his job? It's just not showing up in the stat sheet?
Dale, every time I was at training camp, you look at Stewart Murphy. I thought Murphy was bigger than Stewart, man. They look the same. I just don't get it, man. I mean, like, I know there was that one, I think Gridiron, whatever it was on Twitter, said something like that. Murphy has that Stewart has a higher ceiling. I just don't get it. It's like,
yeah,
help me out here.
We'll see. No, I think he could have a good game. He could be a low-key key to this game if he's getting more snaps because, maybe they're putting him in there to stop the run because he is a big guy. And you got to make the tackles. You got to, hold that line, hold that spot when you need to. So Dusher says, what is the public bathroom matchup? I mean, Greg versus the toilet, depending on what he has at the tailgate.
Yeah,
but I will say this one. The real matchup is if I'm at that game and I'm watching the Bengals, there is no smoking allowed. There is no outside smoking section. So the real key matchup is me having been drinking alcohol versus no ripping Peters. And maybe that's the bathroom matchup. Maybe I'll go rip actual Peters instead of heaters in the bathroom to get my oral fixation.
Serving up that dildo after the game.
No, I'm doing the sucking. I'd like, oh, this is a sick. Too far. It's too far.
Hey, is there supposed to be stadium upgrades for this year? Are there other stadium upgrades for this year?
There might be some. I don't know.
Well,
probably the fancy ass sections have them.
I think a couple people got screwed. They were turning like some seats into club seats, and like one guy said he got an email. He's like, "You have two options. You can stay here, but you got to pay a shitload extra for a club seat, or you get the hell out of here."
And I think that starts next year.
Yeah,
is what the person said. But
yeah,
I do think they've done some stuff. Yeah, the Paycor glory hole.
Yeah, it'll be interesting as obviously with this new lease agreement, like what kind of improvements they continue to make to the stadium over the year. So we're just curious if there was anything that they talked about specifically, but this sounds like maybe not a lot this year, but probably in the future.
Hey, the escalators though, they listen to Chop. They're fixing the escalators.
Well, hopefully.
That's a fire hazard right there. That's dangerous if they're not fixed. That's just.
I may have to buy me. All I can think about, Greg, right now, I'm sorry. All I can think about is the fact that there is no ripping heaters. Like, I can't go at halftime and rip heat. I can't go when I'm stressed out about this game and rip heaters. And, oh, my God, I'm going to have to get, like, a vape pen. And you're not allowed to have those either, but.
Dale, that doesn't stop some, trust me.
I know. All people do it, but whatever. I don't do the vape pen stuff, but I may have to get me a vape pen.
No, Dale, when you went out and smoked, did you get back in time, though, to watch the game, though, is my question.
Greg, I was usually pretty buzzed up, and there's also a big old video board, so I would come out of the smoking section, watch the video board until I had time to get back to the seat.
All right, I'm just saying, man. Because my one friend, he smoked like crazy and all that. I wouldn't see him back for an hour or two. It's like, what are you doing, man? Come back and watch the game with me. Yeah.
Maybe he found that glory hole at the Paycor Stadium.
Pack that sunscreen and water, and it's supposed to be 90 degrees on Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm in the shade, though, Dustin, so I'm on the shady side.
There you go.
Bro, yeah. I was literally saying, I told Marissa yesterday, the one thing I'm not going to miss is going to be 90 degrees. You always bake that first Bengals game, so I ain't going to miss that. And then I even said that to my classroom aide today. I was like, yeah, man, I'm not going to miss that. And then it's like, work's almost over, and I was like, I'm going to bake. I'm going to bake because I may be going to the game now.
90 degrees is just, we talked about this on the podcast before. It's just hard to keep that like enthusiasm throughout the game and keep the stadium rocking when you're just dying in the heat, you know, like it just kind of wears on you because you're just sitting in the stadium with the sun just like baking on your face. So, but
imagine being one of these nerds like a Darth Bengal or something, and you had this face paint on. It's just like melting.
Man, what is wrong with all of you? I work outside all the time. I mean, gosh dang it, man. I'd rather be out there when it's hot than it's cold.
football weather, though, you kind of want it to be in like the.
No, I know, Dustin.
60s.
I agree with you. I'm just saying, man. You work outside.
Well, you're also around a bunch of people. Like it's a tight space, and that heat.
Dale, I understand that. Try being a training camp, man, when it's 90 degrees outside, for fuck's sakes. I was at the 100 degrees. You know that I almost passed out of a stroke, but I manned up and I crawled every inch back, and I was fine.
The bear crawl.
Well, actually, I had to sit
army
down.
crawl.
I had to sit down so I wouldn't have a head stroke, but I was fine.
Yeah, you know Greg will have a hat on. There's no you're actually you said you're in the shade. There's no excuse that bald head is not shining the whole game. And you said Elizabeth Blackburn sits in your section, so there's no reason you shouldn't be like, "Hey Elizabeth, look at my sweet bald head."
I don't know what you're talking about.
You rolling up?
Bro, you've said that before.
Oh, yeah.
Great. Greg spitting game.
Yeah.
To Elizabeth.
Well, I did take my shirt. I didn't know she was near me. I did take my shirt off one time after Yoshi scored a touchdown. It was freezing as cold. I was wearing coveralls one time. Bengals Bird was telling me to do it and all that and stuff. And, we were getting near the goal. I'm like, Matt, it's fucking happening. I got the coveralls off. I got everything. Surely enough, it happened, dude. I got
did you and Elizabeth lock eyes, and did she go, oh?
She's like,
no, she didn't see.
She's like,
yeah, because she would have done locked that shit down. You would be in the front office of the Bengals right now had she
be
seen
the
that.
GM, and we'd be passing you notes.
No, Dale, I know you, Dale. You'd be passing me notes. I'd be wearing an earpiece. Like, who do they draft? And you're saying, and I just listen to myself like, okay, that guy.
Dale, your favorite dude got plucked, though, from the practice squad. Did you cry?
No, it was one of the Isaiahs we talked about on Wednesday when Jay was out. Yeah, Isaiah Williams to the Jet. No, I did not cry, but honestly, for depth reasons, and if Chuck Sizzle does get injured at any point, that would have been a nice guy to have, especially for returns, because they didn't use Sizzle at all. That surprised me a little bit in week one, how much he was getting in early, how much he seemed to be getting chemistry with Burrow, that they didn't use him as a receiver, like at all.
Dude, I can't even remember our game plan at this point because it was run heavy. I actually liked how they established the run last week and what we were doing early on. We were doing a lot of split backs, a lot of diverse formations, and then all of a sudden it just kind of went to a screeching halt. It just I don't know. I think they kind of tucked that play sheet away and just this is going to be a defensive battle. Let's just do whatever we got to do to win the game, But
yeah. Any other thoughts on the game? Because we're a little over an hour in. It's Friday. I'm going to jump on with Jeff around 5:30 for the show with the Iceman. He has a 15-minute intro, so 5:15. No, it's not. It's a long intro. But
yeah, I just think it's a good litmus test for the defense, gauge check where we are. I mean, they got some weapons on the other side, so I think it's going to be a good test there. I mean, obviously I think we're the more talented team. I expect us to win. But yeah, it's going to be nice to see how the defense and, kind of get tested a little bit more with, I think, a little bit better weapons than the Browns have. So it'll be interesting.
I feel like I felt last week. It's going to be close. It's going to be tight. It's going to be a lot of people are like, no, this should be a win. Oh, this is Cleveland. This should be a win. Oh, this is Jacksonville. This should be a win. I don't feel that way at all.
No.
But I just like I felt against Cleveland, I think we find a way, and there's no reason to have this feeling. It's just there's something about this year that I feel really good about. And winning a game like that, winning ugly in Cleveland is part of it. And I think winning ugly at home in your home opener against Jacksonville will also be part of it. At the end of the day, if it's another ugly win, you look at the standings, you're 2-0. And Zach Taylor's never been 2-0.
Yeah.
And you would have to feel really good about that. So I don't care how we win. Find a way to win. I do expect the offense will be better. Maybe the defense won't be as good as it was, right? Because you're not playing Joe Flacco. You're not playing Joe Schmo. Besides Harold Finn and Dylan Say, a bunch of rookies was their best players last week, to be fair.
Dale, to quote out Davis, just fucking win, baby. That's all I give a fuck about. Just
win. The first
I don't care. Like the Browns game day, when I jumped to Bengal Dad's pool, that was the greatest feeling I have. I want to be jumping in more pools after that, buddy. I love
just a random person's pool, like close to the stadium. Just
man, I love drinking
the one.
I love drinking that pool Rado, even though it's not good for you. Drinking the pool Rado was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You don't drink pool water, Greg.
Well, I fucking did, and it worked.
Oh man, how much pee was in that?
Oh, who the fuck?
Not even if it's pee, chlorine. Like, those are chemical. Like, what are we doing here?
No, I spit it out. Y'all relax, Mom.
He's a spitter, not a swallower.
He's a spitter.
Yeah. Remember the one time, Dale? Remember the one time, Dale, with the remember I was going to take a shot one time and I spit it out. So yeah, dude, we're good, man. I did not drink all that shit. God, I knew you were going to freak out on me.
Hey, we're also kind of on Reds watch this weekend too.
Hey, no, we don't know. No, don't say shit. Don't say anything.
Reds suck. Reds are awful. The Reds they've actually been out of it for a week or two.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, Dustin, what are we talking about?
Dead.
Dustin, what are we talking about? I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yep.
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, Dustin.
Every time we mention them, every time.
No. The biggest, Bengals and Bourbon, who's such a big fan. Every time he says the Reds are good. Remember we had a no-hitter going into the ninth inning. We had one out left, and he said, we got this, and we gave up a hit. We love you, Bourbon. We were not saying anything. We don't say anything. I know nothing about this team. Good night.
All right, but spitters are quitters, Greg. I agree with Stranger. Like, if you're willing to put it in your mouth, you got to swallow. Like, I'll never forget being in high school, get some Roadhead down by the flood wall. Well, not Roadhead because we had pulled over, but, we were by road, whatever. Either way. So this girl, blah, 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 and then this dumb bitch spits it back out on my shirt. I got to go home. I fucking come on my fucking shirt. Like, what am I supposed to do? Fucking come. I didn't have a fucking extra shirt. I couldn't walk in my house without a shirt. So it's like, you got to swallow that shit, bitch. Just saying.
You were doing Diddy parties. You're doing Diddy parties before Diddy parties were.
What the fuck, dude?
No, I was just getting my dick sucked. And, like, when I came in this bitch's mouth, she's like, I don't know. I don't care how it tasted for you. You swallow that shit.
Are we still live?
Yeah, we're still live.
What the fuck?
Probably canceled, but we're still live.
Yeah.
So that's my story of the day. All right. Anything else Bengals related or
I can't
blowjob related?
No.
Yeah, no.
All right. Good way to end the show.
No, not that I can think of. And all that and stuff. I cut limbs off of trees all week, but nothing bad happened to me, so that's good.
He's here. He is here.
Yes, he is.
And he will be on Jeff's show at 5:30. He has another hour.
Yeah.
Before the show even starts.
Eek.
Yeah, it is a relevant PSA. Like, swallow, don't fucking spit. Can't walk in my parents' house in high school with cum on my fucking shirt. So I'm walking in, like, literally, like, with a hand over where the fucking cum is. Like, you know how fucking awkward that is?
Let's be honest.
I can't imagine why, Dale.
My dad probably would have high-fived me, to be fair. Like,
let's be honest, they're no different than your crusty socks anyways. Come on. Yeah.
All right. Anything else? What, Greg?
Oh, just good ball. Good. There's actually a pretty solid college slate on Saturday, so that'd be fun. Sunday,
Yeah.
there's some good games.
Any college football Sunday you want?
Are you guys ready for Chiefs to go 0-2?
God, I hope that happens. Oh, by the way, see for the Steelers, Joey Porter is out Sunday night.
Joey Porter Jr.
I think that's going to be an interesting game, Seattle and Pittsburgh.
Hey, here you go. Greg's got you, Renee. Like, Greg's the man. Any hotels you recommend staying in Cincy? Thinking going to the game on December 14th?
Whatsoever that I know of.
Weren't you just saying one? Like by the
Okay,
mall?
if you want to go to a hotel, Jesus Christ, Dale, go to the Hampton Inn near me in Kenwood, I guess, so you don't have to pay for the downtown shit.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Like, go right in Cincy. It's like, what? I mean, that's maybe a 15-minute drive to the stadium.
Yeah, it's right off the highway. You get to go to the Kenwood Mall.
You're just right on the highway. The Kenwood Mall is elite. First time there was at a preseason game.
Well, no, Dale, I have not been to the Lego store yet, believe it or not. Do you recommend it?
I don't recommend it if you have kids and they'll spend a shitload of money. Like Miley got this awesome Wicked thing. It was like $100.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's a Christmas gift. I ain't buying this and it not be a motherfucking Christmas gift. You ain't just getting this because it's a random damn day. I'm a teacher. I ain't got that kind of motherfucking money.
You didn't walk into Build-A-Bear because I remember when I saw you guys to give you guys Marissa's Sam Hutter picture. Did you guys? She says if I go to Build-A-Bear, I'm going to spend money. Did you guys end up going? You didn't go to Build-A-Bear, did you?
Yeah, we did, but there was no Bears bought. But there was like clothing there was some Bengals clothing for stuff. So there was things bought, but nothing outrageous compared to the Lego store. The Lego store was pretty outrageous, expensive.
Gotcha.
They'll get you. They'll get you. Well, boys.
PSA of the day. If you're gonna suck it, if you're gonna suck it, swallow it. Don't spit it on a motherfucker's shirt. That's all I'm saying.
Jesus Christ.
So it's like Madeira area, right? Like it's
in Kenwood. It's like I say, it's
Hampton Inn by Kenwood Mall. So Renee,
fine. Let me look it up right now. Dustin, you're interested too. Hell, I'll give everybody my address so they can just stay there.
It's not you don't live at the hotel, Greg.
I'm kidding, Dale. Chill out. What is wrong with you?
He's squatting at the hotel, taking it over.
Yeah, here we go. All right, Hampton Inn and Suites, Cincinnati Kenwood. Look at that up. Okay, hey, Dale. Let's look up today. Okay. Let's look up dates. Let's look up. Where were the hotel people now? Let's look this up. Oh, gosh, dang it. No, I don't want that date. Okay, you can get a hotel for $115 a night.
Yeah, there you go. And you're not too far off from the game. So hell yeah. All right, boys.
What the hell?
We will end this one. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Y'all the best. The show was on the rails for most of the show, to be fair. But over an hour in with Rumdale, a motherfucker, he can't help himself.
RD Rumdale.
It's going to be bad on Jeff's show. Jeff always wants Rumdale to show up, and I don't know why.
Hey, all of you kiss this hair goodbye. Give it a big kiss.
Yep.
It's gone.
Greg, that'll be shit. You know what? What was the count up to, Greg?
Okay.
The money raised.
All right, guys. So let's start over here. Well, we're going to retell the story once again. I was about to do.
All right. Well, hold on. I got to pee then. We're all taking a break.
Dale,
we're all taking a break. You're telling a story. So.
Oh, okay. So, like I say,
story time with Greg Luther.
Story time, Greg. No, this is an awesome story here. So I was about to do it during. We were just bullshit one time. I told Dale, I'll shave my head right now. Dale's like, Greg, why don't you do it for charity? We originally said just $200, and one person said do it for $500. I'm like, why not? After 2 days, we raised $500. But I thought, first of all, my family was going to, my mom especially was going to be pissed off about it. She's like, you should go for $1,000. I'm like, yeah, right. That's not going to happen. Within 2 or 3 days, we got over $500. Within 4 days, we got to $1,000. And now, today, we have raised over $1,300. And seriously, Bengals fans, this is so awesome. From the bottom of my heart and everybody at Project Game Day, we cannot thank you all enough for the generous donations. Like literally, when we reached the 1,000 mark, I literally was breaking down crying how many awesome people there are. Yeah, Bengals fans, from Bengals fans, family members that I knew, coworkers that I knew, Dale, Dustin, you guys have generously donated. From the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much. I love you guys. Dale's but yeah, like seriously, like I never in my wildest dreams ever thought we were going to get over $1,300. I never in my wildest dreams at all. This is just so generous of all of you. So like I said, I'm already halfway there, so I might as well beat myself to the punch already. We'll see how this goes. We'll see, I don't know, like I say, I'm just so blessed of how much we raised. I'm just stunned. That's all I'm going to tell you all. I'm just so stunned. It's just a true blessing and all that, what was donated. So, oh yeah. But yeah, you guys are the best. I love you all. People, I don't know about that, but yeah.
All right. That's awesome stuff.
That is awesome stuff. You want to add anything? Well, I guess we'll wait till Dale comes back. You want to add anything to that?
No, I think it's wonderful. I mean, once again, it shows how much Bengals fans we care about each other, lift each other up. We probably obviously always have good dialogue on games and stuff like that, and maybe agree or disagree. It's okay, but we come together as a fan base. I think it's awesome, and look forward to the shaved head.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to having it permanently. We'll see how this goes and all that and stuff. Hopefully, after the Browns game, I thought about keeping my hair. I'm like, nope, can't do it. Still got it. But the Bengals already knew. The football gods already knew my head was going to be shaved. So we're going to keep this going. Hey,
what about your ball sack? What?
No.
Damn it! It could have raised a lot of money. So what did it end up being? Like over $1,300?
$1,300.
Dude, that's insanity.
That's true insanity. Dale, we literally said we would be okay with 200. Remember, one guy we were talking to a project said, "Well, I would have done 500, but your head." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, we'll do 500." With 2 days, we got to 500, right?
I mean, if you shave enough things like your butthole and your ball sack.
Yeah.
You realize, we could get a whole nother set of season tickets for recipients. You could get a whole nother set of tickets for individuals with disabilities and military veterans to games.
You want me to shave my beard too?
I mean, for the right amount of money. But no, Paul says don't get rid of the beard. I agree. We worked really hard to get the beard on Greg.
We did. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Jolly says he shaves his every day for free.
There you go, buddy.
And Greg's going to look like a badass. Just look at him. Bald-headed Greg with a beard. Come on now.
We'll see. But anyway, just thank you all once again.
No, that's awesome, Greg. You did a great thing, man. And honestly, raising that amount of money, that's the fan base too, man. Shout out the fan base.
So no, but Dale, you're the one that thought of it. I give you just as much credit, buddy. I mean that.
I just drink and say dumb shit, and then sometimes it sticks. I guess that was one of them,
really
right?
Sticking. But seriously, no. For the 50th time, thank you all once again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hoo day, everybody. If you want to see Rumdell, he'll be back on Jeff's show at 5:30. I hope he's got other guests lined up besides just me, because I'll just probably be ripping Peters the whole time.